Alright, guys, this is the Michael Myers Fanatic back to answer your questions. I said you could ask me anything as long as it was within reason. So, let's get started here. I guess I'll start at the top and work my way down. The first question comes from Horror Fan 1989. And this person asks, I was wondering if Halloween 9 were to be made today, would it take place like 20 plus years after the events of Resurrection in the present day? Or would it take place like a year or two after Resurrection? Not really sure how setting it in the past would work so much, since so much time has passed, and the actors such as Josh Hartnett, Busta Rhymes, Bianca Kylick, and such have gotten older. Horror Fan 1989, first of all, thank you for participating. You are correct. Time has gone by, which is why, if you're asking me as a writer what would I do, I would probably set it in the past, but get new people. In other words, I'm not saying I would recast John Tate. I'm saying Halloween 9 would have different characters altogether. Because you're right, too much time has passed. So I don't think it would work. I mean, it could possibly work with Bianca Kylick with the right amount of makeup and stuff like that. Like, no offense, I'm just saying. Then it might work, but other than that, you're right. No, I don't think it would. So we would have to use new characters. Thank you again. Going to the next question. The next set of questions come from bhunt799. He says, or she, I don't know, these people with their names, they're not very gender specific, so I don't know. But anyway, he or she says, do you think Halloween 2018 should have been called Halloween Returns? Yeah. I think that would have been a better title for it, rather than just calling it Halloween all over again. Because now you've got 3 movies called Halloween. So that's literally the stupidest shit I've ever heard. So yes, it should have just been called Halloween Returns. Your next question says, what would you like to see in the next Halloween movie after Halloween ends? First of all, if they were going to do another Halloween movie, I would want it to be Halloween 9. What would I like to see? A follow-up with 4, 5, 6, and Resurrection. You can combine them into one timeline with the right writer. You just need a good writer and he can do it. Or she. The next question says, how do you feel about a Halloween Jurassic World crossover? Well, I'll say this. I stopped watching the Jurassic Park series after Jurassic Park 3, so I don't know much about it anymore. But I will say, I don't think you want to do that. Because if you cross them over, I can tell you right now, the dinosaur is going to fuck Michael Myers up. I'm telling you straight. I don't have to be a Jurassic Park fan to know that much. The dinosaur is going to give Michael a run for his money. So, your final question says, what would you like to see most in Halloween Ends? B Hunt, let me tell you. I've made so many videos about this and yet they just refuse to do it. As we say in the wrestling community, they should have put Allison over. What that means is they should have pushed her out front to be the number one character. For somebody to be over, that means that the audience identifies with them. They can connect to the audience. They get across to the audience. She should have been over by the first movie, but she wasn't. Why is it taking them 3 movies to get her over? Please don't get me started on this. I don't want to get started on this. Jamie Lee Curtis was over by the end of Halloween 1. It's taking them 3 movies to get her over. You know why? Because the writing is bad. So, like I said, I don't even want to get started on this. I'm going to go to the next question. Thank you for participating. The next question comes from Lord Bite Me Man. Lord Bite Me Man. These names are funny. He says, Michael staring out the window. What do you think the best explanation of it would be? And what would be the dumbest? And which of these do you think Halloween Ends would go with? The best. You know what? I can't answer that because I really don't know what they're doing with this movie. It's like they're just writing a bunch of stories. They had no clear direction when they started this. All they know, from what I can see, all they know is that they wanted to distance themselves from the first 8 movies. That's the first thing. And they know they wanted John Carpenter back because he has a name in the horror community and he can get the movie out there. That's all they wanted to know. And they wanted Jamie Lee Curtis back. That's all they knew. All that other shit like good writing, good storytelling, fuck all that. They just know that they wanted John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis. And the rest didn't matter. Period. Thank you for participating, sir. On to my next set of questions. The next set come from Sebastian. His first question says, which Michael portrayal was your favorite from any movie? Part 1, 1978. He says, which Michael was the scariest to you? I guess 1. Favorite mask? 1. After Ends, what direction do you want the franchise to go? Or he says, or would you rather have the next movie be a reboot entirely or another sequel? Well, I want 9, Halloween 9. That's no secret. Then he says, I know this won't happen, but what would you do if Hillbilly Rob Zombie is thinking about making a 3rd movie after Ends? And then it ends up happening. If he does, whatever. I mean, at this point, I don't even care anymore. I hope it doesn't happen. But if it does, it is what it is. I'll still watch it. And I'll still give it a fair and honest review. even though the second one was a pile of shit. So, there's that. My next set of questions come from Gorgira Fan 1954. What's up, bro? I love your name, man. It cracks me up every time. Listen, Gorgira Fan, I'm working on that surprise for you, bro. You are going to love it. Tune in next week. I'm telling you. Okay, your first question says, how do you think Michael and Laurie would kill each other in Halloween Ends? This guy makes me laugh, guys. Forgive me. I don't know, Gojira Fan. They might stab each other. And they might both fall off of the radio tower. That's what I'm thinking. Then he says, do you think don't answer the phone should have been a horror movie rule since the original Scream? I don't know. I mean, I got a few weird phone calls, you know, when I was younger, so maybe they should have implemented that in other horror movies. I don't know. I don't really get a lot of weird phone calls, so I can't relate to the don't answer the phone thing. Because I don't answer my phone anyway. So, there's that. Then he says, Michael Myers versus the Djinn. The Djinn would win. Because you can't kill him, so that's a no-brainer. Then he says, for your script, would Halloween 9 be the closing chapter to the original timeline? Most likely. Most likely it would be, yes. Then he says, how would you feel about a Flashpoint timeline or alternate timeline where Judith was the killer and Michael died instead? Wow. No, I think I'd rather just stick with what we already have. Then you ask me, who would you cast as the Djinn for a Wishmaster reboot? I wouldn't want a Wishmaster reboot. I'd want another sequel. But if I had to cast somebody, it would be Julian McMahon. He's the one that played Cole Turner. And I told you guys before, I think Julian is really good at being evil. And I told you I think he would make a good Michael. And now I'm telling you I think he would make a good Wishmaster. But the writing has to be good. The character is only as good as the writer makes him or her. So they have to make them be good villains and good heroes or heroines. Your next question says, do you think there should be an extended cut for Halloween Resurrection? Of course. And your next question says, if you had to change the ending of any Halloween movie, which one would it be? And how would you change it? Wow. First of all, I'm only going to talk about 1 through 8. And I guess I would change maybe H2O. I don't know what my ending would be, but standing there breathing while the Halloween theme is playing, like, I think there should have been more to it than that. So I don't know what I would have chosen for the end of H2O. I would literally have to get back to you on that. That's a very good question. I like that. I would have to get back to you on that one. And then you say, have you ever heard of the 2011 movie Rango? No, I haven't. Then you go on to say, how would you feel about another alternate universe with a Western Michael Myers? Oh my goodness. Oh man, that's funny. I guess it would be all right. Again, it all depends on the writing. The writing is a big part of it. If the writing is shitty, the characters will be shitty. It just goes without saying. Michael Myers versus Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. Well, they say Shao Kahn is immortal, but then again, so is Michael. But then again, Shao Kahn has that big ass hammer. So I'm guessing Shao Kahn would win. Because the hammer could still hurt Michael. The next question comes from Keith A. He says, how do you feel about the marketing for this movie? It seems like they are hiding something. What do you think is going on? I think the marketing is shit. I hate it. It really is. Like I told you guys in my rant that I did about Blumhouse, it just seems like they're catering to the bigger media outlets, the bigger YouTube channels. And I'm not going to name any names, but my real fans know who I'm talking about. They're catering to people like that. But yet they claim they respect everybody. Halloween ends, and the whole Halloween trilogy, to be honest with you, it just seems like a forced, manufactured pile of shit. Period. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't respect the actors or actresses that have worked their asses off to put this movie together for us. But it all seems very forced, very manufactured. It seems like there's nothing genuine or organic about this movie. It just seems fake. It comes across as very fake. Because when they did the Q&A last year, or whatever the fuck it was, the watch party or whatever, they only answered certain people. But yet they tried to make you think it was a public event. The whole thing is all sizzle and no steak. What do I think they're hiding? I don't know. What do I think is going on? I don't know. Do you mean, do I think they're hiding something plot-wise or studio-wise? Studio-wise, I don't know. Plot-wise, they might be hiding something. And maybe they think it's either going to shock the fans, or maybe they think it's going to be something that the fans would hate. Because I've heard a lot of people say that Jamie Lee Curtis said that a lot of fans were going to be angry about this, so I don't know. I've heard a lot of different shit, from COVID-19 to a copycat Michael Myers. Like, I have no idea. Then you go on to say something about the movie being mailed in, or they mailed it in. I don't know what you mean by that. The next question comes from Mental Possessed Patient. He says, or she says, I don't know, how do you feel about this Corey Cunningham and Michael Myers Copycat working together? I don't know. I guess I'll look at it before I judge it. But it just seems really weird. That's all I can say about that. My next question comes from Raving Lunatic. He says, what did you think about the flashback scene in Halloween Kills? And is there any positive things you could say about Rob Zombie's Halloween? If you're talking about the first Rob Zombie's Halloween, I liked the scenes with young Michael Myers. I can say that. I like the theme song in Rob Zombie's Halloween. I'll say that. That's about all I can say about Rob Zombie's Halloween. Halloween Kills flashback scenes, I like them very much. Next set of questions comes from resident of Collinwood. Shout out to you, sir. Thank you guys for participating, by the way. Resident of Collinwood says, what do you think Freddie Harris is doing present day? I don't know. It's funny because my mom said one time, she said that she thinks Freddie Harris got as far away from that town as he could. I agree. What is he doing now? I think he's probably an alcoholic after what he went through. I think he's trying to survive. So that's what I think about that. Then you ask, do you think Tommy Doyle and Kara Strode told Steven about his mother and Michael Myers? At some point, yeah. I can't picture them lying to him, especially Tommy Doyle. So yeah, I do. Then he says, did the police in Langdon, Illinois rule that the murders are unsolved? I don't know. Were you talking about H2O? I don't know what you mean by that, but then you say, do they still have Dr. Loomis's deduction board? Probably. It's probably evidence or something. Oh, so you probably do mean H2O. Do they think it was Michael? Probably not, because they thought that Michael was dead, so they probably did rule it as unsolved. And then next you said, do you think Michael Myers will kill the copycat killers? Or you said, or will Laurie deal with them? I hope Michael does it. So thank you for participating, resident of Collinwood. The next set of questions comes from Gomer Kyle. First of all, thank you for sharing the video. Thank you for telling everyone to come to the channel. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. You say, what are my thoughts about the copycat scenario or rumor? Like I said earlier in the video, I think it's weird. And then you say the craziest rumor you've heard is that Michael is training his replacement and teaching him. Is that a dumb idea or is it just me? If so, if that is real, it is a dumb idea. Then you say, if it is a copycat new Michael, who do you think will play him? No, who do you want to play him? Excuse me. I don't know. I don't know who they could get to play. I'm telling you, this new Halloween trilogy, I don't know, guys. The only good thing about it is Allison, and they've basically done nothing with her. I told you, it's like wrestling. When they put people over in wrestling, they're trying to get Jamie Lee Curtis over. Why does she need to be over? She's already a legend. I don't get their thinking. It makes no sense. Their logic makes no sense. How are you going to get a character who's over again? She's already over. I don't get it. This is so stupid. You don't need to get her over. She's already there. Then you say, here's your last question. If the copycat thing really happens, how many people will be mad? And why would they do the same thing as Friday the 13th? Part 5, I guess is what you were trying to say. I think a lot of people will be mad. I think it would make people furious. And they would probably have to shut it down. Shut the franchise down. Put it on hiatus. And come back a few years later. Like they did with Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. The next question comes from Say No to Blues. He says, according to Kills, he's basically invincible now. So how will they make it interesting again? Again, listen guys, I have no clue. I don't know what Blumhouse and Universal are thinking. The next question comes from the Skull Clown. Thank you for participating. Say No to Blues. The Skull Clown says, what would you like to see in Halloween Ends? And your opinion of how it will end. What would I like to see? I guess Allison could kill Michael Myers. And there's no reason for me to talk about getting her over because this is the 3rd movie. So it's too late for that. I'm not even going to go into that. Not even going to go into that. You said you want to see Michael walk off into the sunset so they can start a new series. Look, let's not go there. Please, no. Just do Halloween 9. Or leave it alone. Thank you, Skull Clown. Got another question from Possessed Mental Patient. He says, how pissed would you be if they killed Michael in this film? I would be highly upset. I wouldn't give a shit because this oh my goodness. This Halloween trilogy is so far removed from what the first 8 films were. I don't care what the haters say. Fuck the haters. Fuck them. Because before all this trilogy bullshit, they didn't have a problem with 1 through 8. They didn't have a problem with 1 through 8 as long as Jamie Lee Curtis and everybody else wasn't telling them to hate 1 through 8. They didn't have a problem with the brother-sister shit until the new Halloween movies came out. So, whatever. The next question comes from Muggs805. Do you think this movie will be some bullshit? I like that question. More than likely, yes it will. Thank you for participating, Muggs. The last question comes from JokerFace206. Do you think Michael and Laurie will die? Yes, I do. Thank you for participating, JokerFace206. Thank all of you for participating. Thank you so much for following the rules. I look forward to sharing my mystery guest with you guys. I cannot wait to share it with you. You guys are going to be very excited, especially one subscriber, Gorgira Fan 1954. And if you figured out what the surprise is, Gorgira Fan, Don't tell any of the other subscribers. Okay? So thank you guys once again. I'm the Michael Myers fanatic. I approve this message. Halloween ends Q&A. Thank you for participating. Please be sure to follow me on all forms of social media at the MyersFan25 and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Thank you for watching.